Good evening and welcome to the July 11th meeting of the Beavercreek Parks, Recreation, and Culture Board. So I hereby call this meeting to order, and we'll begin with roll call.
Ms. Meyer?
Here.
Ms. Fulcher?
Here.
Ms. Heaton?
Here.
Mr. Corbett?
Here.
And Mr. Schmidt is not here tonight.
Great. Thank you, Zach. You have in front of you the agenda for tonight's meeting. If you've had a chance to look at that, and I will accept a motion, not a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor of the agenda, say aye.
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 You also have 2 months' worth of minutes, both from the May meeting, which we did not have a quorum to vote, and then the June 13th meeting. And again, once you've had a moment to look at those, I will accept motions. First to approve the May. We'll do that one first, and then we'll do the June.
Make a motion to approve our May minutes.
Do I have a second?
A second.
All in favor of approving the May minutes, say aye.
Aye.
And then the same with the June.
I make a motion to accept the June minutes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor of the June minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Motions all pass. Thank you. So we'll move on then right into the staff reports. I think that's Zach this evening.
Good evening. So for staff report tonight, I'm going to talk a little bit about one of the other advisory boards, and that is the Tree Advisory Board. They kind of work hand in hand with park staff and public service staff to provide input on anything related to trees on public property. So our Beavercreek Tree Advisory Board was recently formed in 2017, and they advise City Council and staff regarding the tree planting, care, and removal of trees on public grounds. They also assist in maintaining the Tree City USA designation, host an annual Arbor Day event, and then also provide educational opportunities for the public. This past year, the Tree Advisory Board has worked to create a mission statement and some goals and objectives, which I'll go over. And their mission statement is to implement the best management practices to help maximize the environmental, economic, and social benefits of a sustainable urban forest for the residents of Beavercreek. And with that, they created some goals, and the first one is to increase public awareness of the urban forestry benefits and best management practices. And they want to achieve this by maintaining a status as a Tree City USA, host an annual Arbor Day event in the community, provide educational opportunities for the public regarding proper tree planting, and maintenance, to encourage property owners to maintain a diverse and resilient tree population on private property, and then also work with the Ohio Division of Forestry Regional Urban Forester to stay current and informed about managing the trees in the Beavercreek community. The second goal that they have created is to advise staff in the best management practices to maintain the health and vigor of all trees within the urban forest. And with that, the objectives are to review the standard operating procedures and contracts for tree-related work to ensure best arboricultural practices are being followed, advise staff in tree installation planning on public property to ensure a diverse and resilient tree population within the urban forest, while striving to plant the right tree in the right place, which includes native and non-native tree species, and assist staff in invasive species management strategies and planning. And one of the things I want to point out with urban forestry is a little bit different than traditional forestry practices, because you're putting a lot of these trees in areas that are very difficult sites to grow, especially within medians where you have a lot more heat and salt and poor growing conditions, and even within some of the parks that were developed with some of the plats that were built, where you have a lot of the soil that's been amended and pushed up and some of the topsoil maybe scraped away. It's a lot different planting in those locations versus planting, maybe on a old farm field or some forests that have not been disturbed. So the Tree Advisory Board, especially as it relates to street trees, here are some things they want to avoid. planting trees and not maintaining where you have limbs that are going to get broken off and get in the way of some larger vehicles. Trees planted in the wrong location there in the top middle, where you've got a large tree planted in a very small area pushing up a sidewalk, trees obstructing signs, power lines, and then the lower middle picture is of the emerald ash borer, just being able to have a diverse and resilient population so that when a pest does come, it doesn't destroy a large percentage of the tree population. You're kind of controlling how much of your population is going to be at risk for damage. And so they strive for this. As we know, trees provide great shade. People, always flock to shade trees, whether that be in a park or in a parking lot. Also providing trees that have the right growth habit for the location. So especially along streets where the trees grow more upright so that they're not in the travel of the roadway. And then that bottom picture is kind of just showing that diverse tree population of various different species and sizes. And some trees, as you know, some oak trees can live several hundred years, where some of your ornamental trees may only live 20 or 30 years. They all serve a purpose. So the Tree Advisory Board assists staff in maintaining the Tree City USA designation. Beavercreek was designated as a Tree City USA for the first time in 2018, and we are one of 249 communities in Ohio. And I believe Ohio has the most communities in the nation for Tree City USA. There are 4 standards for Tree City USA recognition, and that's the formation of a Tree Advisory Board, which was completed in 2017, possess a tree care ordinance, which the Tree Advisory Board reviews on an annual basis and then makes recommendations to be updated periodically, a community forestry program with an annual budget of at least $2 per capita, and that is something that staff tracks. All tree-related work, training that is done on public property is tracked, and we have to spend at least $2 per capita on an annual basis. And then finally, to host an annual Arbor Day program. The Arbor Day celebration, Arbor Day celebrated the last Friday in April. And this year, City coordinated an Arbor Day celebration with Shaw Elementary second graders, where I think there's 5 classes that came out. There were over 100 students. Siebenthaler Nursery donated a very nice maple tree for the event. And the Tree Advisory Board, along with the mayor, city council, and staff, attended the event, had a nice little ceremony for the students, and I know all the teachers and staff at Shaw Elementary were hopeful that we come back next year and do another celebration with them because they loved it so much. And all the kids were so excited because they got to shake the mayor's hand. He went around and shook the hand of every kid. It was really cool. The Tree Advisory Board also really wants to work on public education. This past spring, they held a tree hike out at Fox Run Park. They want to continue hosting tree hikes and seminars on tree pruning and tree planting. They want to provide helpful information and tips on a city website and through social media. They also want to stay current and informed about managing trees in the Beavercreek community by attending educational events such as the ODNR Tree Commission Academy, which is a 2-year, 4-session program that's pretty involved. All of our tree board members and many staff members have attended this. Go over everything from tree ordinances, communication, species diversity, soil health, tree planting plans, you name it regarding urban forestry and trees. It's in this education track. It's a great event. Our tree board loves it. Our staff has attended and they love it. And then also finally, the Tree Advisory Board has a web page on the beavercreekohio.gov website. So if you click on the banner, go to the Tree Advisory Board tab, you will see a page with helpful information regarding trees. They have also helped establish the Tilt Trail at Fox Run Park in 2020. They've kind of taken Fox Run Park under their wing and adopted the park. The Tilt Trail was named after City Forester Pat Tilt, who unfortunately passed away in 2019. And this is a 1-mile trail highlighting some amazing trees, mature trees back in the park. There's some oak trees that are well over 200 years old. And then they host an annual volunteer day to enhance the park through tree pruning, invasive species removal, and then they several times a year they're just walking through the park and making sure it stays in good shape. And we absolutely love this park. If you haven't gotten a chance to get out to Fox Run Park and walk the trail, I highly recommend it. It's an easy walk and you'll see some really cool trees. And then finally, if anyone has any questions or would like to reach out to our Tree Advisory Board, you can email treeadvisoryboard@beavercreekohio.gov. And then their meetings are held on the second Thursday of each month at 3 p.m. at the Municipal Maintenance Facility on Orchard Lane. So if you have any questions, looking for advice, please reach out to them and they'd be happy to help. If you have any questions?
Zach, what part are they going to play with putting the trails in at the Springhouse Park? Are they doing part of that, like making sure certain trees are, I don't know, designated as don't touch or?
Yeah, so with the initial trail development that we'll be starting here in the next several weeks, most of the trail is kind of there from, deer trails. I think there may have been some sort of trail there from the farmer that was there. So there's really no large trees that are being removed at this time. It's all honeysuckle.
Okay.
When it comes to actually start going through, cleaning out honeysuckle, looking at some of the trees that are there, the tree advisory board will have some input, kind of looking at and seeing what nice trees are on the property, and then making sure that we can highlight those, protect those, really show them off.
I think, at Fox Run, they've labeled some of the trees. Will that also be done, or is that in the future plans, or?
Yeah, so they have done that at Fox Run. There are, I think, about a dozen trees that are labeled along the walking path
Right.
there. There are no plans to do that at Springhouse Park, but I would imagine that would be fairly easy to do there.
Okay, all right, thanks.
And then, do you know, Zach, does that board have to recertify after a certain period of time or once you're in a tree city, you stay a tree city as long as you maintain?
Yeah, you have to apply annually.
Okay.
So yeah, there's, we track the cost of all the tree work, and then in the application process, you answer some questions: how many trees were removed, how many you planted, how much money did you spend on tree care and maintenance, and so the tree advisory board helps assist filling out that application every year.
Good, thank you. Anybody else for Zach? No? Good job. That's good. That's
Thanks.
really interesting. And then when you are ready, Kim, we will move on to the division reports.
Good evening. So this evening, I am going to present the division report. We'll kind of cover all 3 different divisions that normally Zach or Aaron do. So we switched it up on you this month. This is just kind of a quick picture of our 4th of July. We had a great celebration last week, but we'll talk about that a little bit when we get to the recreation slides. So starting up over at the Senior Center, again, if you haven't been over there lately, you really should. We are looking at attendance. We're close to 1,900 members at the Senior Center. So we're looking at very high membership, and this is even higher than probably pre-COVID. So it's been great there. Again, if you've been there, you had not been, we have tremendous staff. We have got great volunteers. You walk in the place and you already feel like, I'm home. So it's a really great feeling. So again, if you've not been out there, go out, check out all the programs. Somebody will give you a tour. But next Tuesday, they're doing a luau. So if you haven't been to Hawaii, you want to know what that is, come to our luau. You do have to register in advance if there are still some seats available. We want to thank Dayspring of the Miami Valley for helping to sponsor that program. And as you can see, this is probably from last year, but everybody dresses. So get your flowered shirts out, your leis, and it's always a really good time. And something new is a Northern Lights themed pottery workshop. So our recreation side has been working with the Purple Paintbrush for a few years now, offering a lot of different paints and art programs, mostly for kids, some families, but we are going to do a class this Saturday at the Senior Center from 10 to 11:30, and you learn how to create a beautiful Northern Lights scene inside a ball ornament. So it's open to non-members. You do not have to be a member of the Senior Center. You can register online at the Senior Center, or you can call our Parks office and we'll get you registered for that. But I know the Purple Paintbrush always does a great job with any of their programs. As we flip on over to recreation, again, I mentioned the 4th of July celebration last week. You do want to say a big thank you to UES. Every single year they come through with a very nice donation, which covers our fireworks and then a few other amenities and fun stuff that we have at the park. But not only UES, and I won't read all those, we have a lot of other volunteers. sponsors that help put all this together. We are able to put the 4th of July celebration on without using taxpayer dollars. It is all through donations. So every little bit helps, so we want to thank all those groups that gave money, and some gave money, some or were in kind, but everything is certainly very much appreciated. And we had a huge crowd out at Rotary Park. It was nuts. So it was just really cool to kind of look out the crowd. You're like, oh my gosh. And what we realized this year that I don't think has ever happened, a lot of people lost cell service because there were so many people in the park trying to log on and get, they were just out of luck. So it was really cool. We had the Band of Flight. I think overall it was a phenomenal event. We had a few new individuals on our committee this year, so we want to thank them for coming out, and I believe they're going to come back for more. So, and we are always taking more committee members, so if anybody would like to be a part of the 4th of July celebration, reach out to the parks office, and we will let you know when our next meeting is. Just getting some more, and we, not only did we have more participation, but we had a lot more volunteers as well. So there's some of our committee members, some park board member in the back there, one of our interns that's been helping on the communication side. But again, it's just, it's a great event. We are in the middle of our summer concert series. So again, every Sunday evening from 7 to 8 at Dominic Lafino Park. We will run through August 6th. We did have a rain out kind of in the beginning of the series, so that band was gracious enough to come back in August. So I want to thank the sponsors, Beavercreek Women's League, American Legion, and the Green Optimists. So you kind of see a recurring theme of thanking our sponsors. Again, a lot of our events, programs are done through sponsorship dollars. And that's something we'll share either next month or in September, and just we can tell you, here's how much the event costs, and here's what those sponsors did. So I think for the summer concerts, we pretty much were able to put all those on with sponsorship dollars. So again, it may not be a whole lot of money, but it's been great. We've had a lot of great numbers. We're averaging 250 to 300 people each Sunday. So they're great bands, and Aaron has done a nice job putting together a different lineup. So Sunday nights is Dominic Lafino Park. And I believe this Sunday is our last children's concert. So Madcap Puppets are going to be out there at 5 o'clock. So check our website. Don't quote me on that one. Hey, Sunday, July 16th, 5 o'clock at Dominic Lafino Park. Madcap Puppets will be there.
Foreshadowing.
Yes. See how I set myself up for that one? And we do try to have a food vendor out there as well. And something new this year, new-ish to us, we are going to be partnering with the Beavercreek Police Department and putting National Night Out on. So it'll be at Rotary Park this year on Tuesday, August 1st from 6 to 8:30. We're going to have demonstrations, food trucks, inflatables. The Shriners are going to be there. It's going to be a great time. So come on out again, Rotary Park. They have done this at the police station in the past, but we're looking to expand and go big. So we're excited to work with the police department on that. And I believe the dunk tank is going to be there too. So definitely want to go there, and we'll get some good people in the dunk tank and get them wet. All right, so on the park side, we talked last month, a lot of times during the summer, we kind of slowed down on our projects because grass is growing. We have softball, we have soccer. We do a lot of the maintenance, but especially in June, we do a lot of focus at Rotary Park because that's where the 4th of July is. So we put some new mulch under the playground and under the swing. We cleaned up all the landscape, added flowers. One of our seasonals, Hannah, did a phenomenal job planting like the red, white, and blue flowers as you come into the park. Jason Clymer oversees Rotary, and they did a great job this year. The park looks amazing, and they even put like little American flags in some of the beds just getting ready for the 4th. So really appreciate everything that our staff does as well. Some of the things that are coming up, Candy, you were asking a little bit about the trails at Springhouse Park and trees. So Be Hope Church, they have a week at the end of July, early August called Be Hope Week. And they have asked to work with us on one of the evenings, and so they are going to help us build some trails at Springhouse. So I apologize, the map looks a little disjointed, but at the top, that is the Patterson roadside. So if you look at landmarks, you'll pass Jet Freeze on the right-hand side. Keep going. Over the next couple of weeks, we are going to be putting in a gravel driveway and parking lot. And so you can pull in there, and then, I don't have a little laser pointer, but if you kind of go down the map, you see that little brown, looks like a little finger in amidst all the trees. The opening to the trail will be right down in there, almost where the red line is. So Be Hope will be helping us blaze some trails through there, and then we'll be able to open up the park at the end of August to the public. So we're really excited. Our staff is getting ready. Next couple weeks, like I said, putting in the gravel drive, parking lot, and then also getting rid of a lot of honeysuckle. So again, if you're out there and you're driving past like, oh my gosh, you're taking down all the trees, we are not. We're just cleaning it up. There is a lot of scrub and just garbage. They're not necessarily trees, it's just honeysuckle that just kind of keeps going everywhere. So just to kind of help the line of sight, and then, like Zach said, we're just blazing some trails through there. If anybody would like to help out that evening, we're going to be out there at 6 o'clock, July 31st. And that night, we're going to be lopping some branches, tossing stuff into the woods, cleaning up. We really want to get the park cleaned up, and so we can open it up to the public. So, and then we'll talk about a opening of the park next month, so stay tuned. And then one of the other projects that we're going to be doing is our senior center parking lots. Again, if you've been over to this senior center, we have islands in the parking lot all over, and we have some bushes, and we've got some weeds, and it's just kind of old mulch. So all of that's going to be ripped out, and then we're going to put stamped concrete in there, so it'd make it look a lot nicer. So once we do some stuff over at Springhouse, we'll be over at the senior center, start cleaning up those parking lots and make it look really, really nice. Happy to answer any questions that you may have regarding our division.
I think I misunderstood, or maybe I didn't get it. Where will the parking lot be for Springhouse? Is it off of Patterson?
Off of Patterson,
Okay.
correct. Yep, so I'm a landmark person, so when you turn onto Patterson, if Jet Freeze is on your right, the park is on the left, go past both of, don't go past the park,
Yeah.
past Jet Freeze, you'll see like a stand of trees just on the other side of that stand of trees.
Kind of across from the old emissions.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Do you know how many cars you think it'll hold, or what?
We're probably going to look at like, maybe 15 to 20.
Okay.
So again, this is just a temporary, just to kind of get us up and rolling, and it's all open field. So if for some reason there's a bunch of cars in there, people can certainly park in the field itself too.
Cool, all right, thanks.
Yep.
Any other questions for Kim? Thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, that moves us on to old business. So we talked a little bit about some events coming up. You have any more volunteer opportunities, or other than the ones you mentioned, to share, or any re-highlight some of those?
No, just wanted to make sure. So again, this Friday night, we're going to be at the mall at Fairfield Commons for their family fun night. So if anybody wanted to come out and help there from our park board. And then we have the trails on July 31st, and then National Night Out would be another one on August 1st.
The trail event on the 31st, is that solely Be Hopes, or is that open to the public to come out?
It's open to the public to come
Okay.
out as well. Yes, thank you.
Bring your own tools?
Oh, we will provide.
Okay.
Yep.
Sure. Great. Any other questions about volunteer opportunities? New business, I don't think we really have anything to discuss tonight. We, as a park board, met earlier and are working on a partner lunch where we'll recognize some of our, we recognize volunteers in April, and then in September we want to show our appreciation to our other recreational partners in the community, and we'll be working on that over the next couple months. Any other new business leaving out? No unscheduled visitors tonight, and we have a few action items from that, for that partner lunch, but that's really it. So I guess we'll move right into board time. Candy, do you mind starting?
Sure. I just wanted to thank UES and all of the people that donated money for the fireworks. They were great. The crowd seemed to really like it. And then I received some positive feedback from people that had been down there on how many food trucks there were, and that it was so nice to have the variety and choices and stuff for that too. So great job.
Sure.
Yeah, I just wanted to encourage people to come out to on Friday, like Kim said, for the Family Fun Night, as well as the other summer events that we have going on. Meet your neighbors, but have fun. It's an inexpensive way to have fun with your family.
Right. Christina?
I wanted to thank the park staff for the great summer camps that are going on this summer. My daughter went last week and she had a great time. So it is a wonderful way to just get your kids out of the house. And I know that Penelope had a good time. So thank you.
Also, and I have, although Matt Schmidt, our board member Matt, is not here tonight, he sent some notes for board time that I'll share. First, he was really happy to see the numbers of community members involved in the last Family Fun Night on June 16th, and heard a lot about the community's excitement over our new Springhouse Park. And then Matt was in our picture we saw earlier with his wife at the 4th of July, and really enjoyed coming out and meeting a lot of community members. A lot of folks stopped by the booth, and again, we're excited about the new park. And he and his family really enjoyed the fireworks and parades, so a lot more props for the 4th of July, which is always a highlight. And I'll share those thoughts as well. And I think if we talked about, what's the most exciting thing about recreation coming up in Beavercreek, there are a lot of things, but that park is in a lot of people's minds, and can't wait to see that developed. So, if there is nothing else, I will accept a motion to adjourn.
I'll motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Do we
I
have a
will second.
All in favor of adjourn, say aye.
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 Meeting adjourned.